Introduction, difference and benefits to fixed and floating rate notes.
The rate of interest paid by a bond is defined by its coupon. Coupons are most commonly paid on a semi-annual or quarterly basis on a prescribed date, making it relatively easy for investors to predetermine how much and when they'll receive an interest payment over the life of a bond. Unlike a dividend, an issuer of a bond must pay the coupon owing, otherwise it is a first step towards a default, which they will avoid at all costs. This is not to say that there is little to no risk of default, with the likelihood of a default increasing significantly with a non-investment grade bond compared to an investment grade bond, and investors should weigh up this risk as part of the process in deciding to invest or not. The two main types of coupons are fixed and floating, with both having different outcomes for investors. A fixed rate bond is one that pays a predetermined rate of interest that is split equally over 2 or 4 payments per annum. When the bond is first issued, the coupon is fixed for the life of the bond and is based on the underlying interest rate environment at the time. It is a reflection of the creditworthiness of the bond relative to other bonds. A bond issued by the Australian Government is deemed to have the best credit weighting and will pay a lower rate of interest than a bond issued by a company that does not have the same financial strength as the government. Floating bonds with floating coupons, as the name suggests, pay a rate that moves in line with underlying interest rate moves. Like the fixed variant, interest payments are split over 2 or 4 payments, although due to the floating nature of the payments, they'll possibly be different each time depending on the movement of the underlying benchmark rate. These securities pay a fixed amount over the relevant benchmark, which in Australia is most commonly the 3-month bank bill swap rate. So a bond could be issued with floating rate of 3% over the 3-month benchmark. This benchmark adjusts on a daily basis reflecting underlying interest rates. So if the current 3-month BBSW rate is 2%, then the bond pays 3% over the 2% rate for a total of 5%. This rate will then stay in place for a defined period, in most cases for 3 months, before there is a new rate set that defines a new coupon, which may be higher or lower depending on what the 3-month BBSW rate is at the time.
Learn more at fixedincomesolutions.com. The views expressed herein are the personal views of the author and in no way reflect the views of the BGC Group. Individuals should make investment decisions based on a comprehensive understanding of their own financial position and in consultation with their own financial advisors. No liability whatsoever shall accrue to the author or the BGC Group as a result of individuals or entities making investment decisions based wholly or partly on this material. Find the full disclaimer at fixedincomesolutions.com/disclaimer.